here we are. We're going to get started. What I want to do is show you today how to take a watercolor piece and eliminate the yellowish color that the watercolor naturally has. When we're printing things, that yellow can come across as grayish and kind of deadens the entire thing when you put it on a whiter type of paper. It just makes everything darker. So I'm going to start with opening up the raw file. And I like to start with a raw file because I have more control in the camera raw setup. Now, you can do this even with a JPEG or a TIFF, but you skip this step and make adjustments before you get to the next step. So the first step is to set, so this first image, if I take out all of these settings, it came across is pretty dark. And kind of just, it's disappointing. This is going to print weird. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mess with the whites and the blacks and pull up some of these, the vibrance, so that the image ends up having some life to it. And we're going to go ahead and open up the image. Now, with the image, as you can see, there's a little error here. So we're going to heal this. Go ahead and get bigger and heal this up over here so that you have a nice square image. Get it all healed up on the edge. There we go. Now we have a nice square image. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to select this little half circle down here in layers and pull up levels. And then as you can see in levels, there is a masking layer and a levels layer like you would get in your adjustment levels. This is not where you want to be. You don't want to be in these levels. This level allows you to do a what they call it's a temporary level, and it makes adjustments over the whole image, but it's temporary and it's non-destructive. That's the word I'm looking for. So let's select the mask and hit color range. And then we're going to select part of this background. And as you can see, it's selected some of the masking here. It's not going to change much of the stuff that's in gray. So we're going to adjust our fuzziness, okay, to include as much of that white as we can. And then the other thing I want to note here is that you want to make sure that the localized color clusters is checked off. Otherwise, wherever it was that you selected your color, you end up getting a gradient selection rather than across the board selection. Now, as you can see, this selection also picks up all of this white that's in here in the bird, and we might not want to get rid of all that. So there's another step, but we're going to start here and say okay. Then we go over to the adjustment, and then we can do the sliders and bring as much of that out as we want. Okay, see, we're losing some of the bird there. We don't want to do that, so we want to pull this down a little ways so that we're not completely losing the white of the paper, and there's still a sense that this is still watercolor and not cut out. And so we do another layer of levels. And we go back to the layers, and we want to do a color range, and this time we want to get up here in the corner. As you can see, your monitor's good enough. There's some stuff going on over here. Here, let me put the info our little info thing is very helpful in this process because you can see what percentage is going to print, and even 1% is going to be enough to make changes. I mean, you're going to see it on the paper. See, we got yellow down here of 2% and up here. So for this layer, we're going to try to get these middle pieces. We're going to bring it down so that we're not getting everything and we're not going to lose some of the stuff in the bird itself. Okay. Now, because we don't want to lose the stuff that's in the bird, the mask has still got some of the bird on there. And so we can pull this back, see if we can get those to 0, and we're looking at our info. So that's where we want to be, but these are still looking pretty rough, like really harsh. So we want to bring some of that yellow back in there that we had. So the way you do that is you can paint it back in on the layer mask. Whoops. You want to make sure this is black, that we're painting with black. Go ahead and paint that yellow back in. Give him some more watercolory feel. A little bit back here on his tail. We want to be right here on his beak. We can change the size of our brush so we're not losing, and he still has that watercolor feel. Because I found that if it's in the image itself, the eye is much more forgiving. So there he is. He is now ready for print. If we look again over here, we use our info, and we've got a little bit of 1% there, but that might have been one of the dots. See, we got stuff going on at the dots. That's okay. We want color there. But the important thing is to make sure that we're still at 1 or 2% there. So we may need to adjust this some more. There we go. And then if you want to play around a little bit, go back to layers. I'm going to adjust this one just a smidgen more. See if that helped our info. Yep, we're good at 0%. So that will print nicely on a card or make a nice little small print on just about any paper. Well, thanks for watching. Hope this helped you out. You might be asking yourself, why am I showing you this secret? Because I know there's a lot of do-it-yourselfers out there. And so I want to make sure that when you send me the image that it is as perfect as you can make it. So until next time, thanks for watching.